What's up, y'all? It's just Rhonda. Welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a lovely Tuesday, and I'm over here doing the best I can, child. I seen something today. I was trying to stay off the internet in terms of looking at political things, but I also kind of want to stay in touch with what the hell is going on, just in case, you know. You need to know what type of moves you're gonna have to make out here. Feel like I'm always here putting this thing in. You need to know what type of moves you're going to need to make out here. Right now, there's attack on poor people. So government funding has been shut down according to, what I've been reading. And so for all those mothers out there that needed daycare assistance, I was a recipient of that. I was a single mother who was able to go to work and send my kids to daycare, my daughter to daycare, with the assistance of a daycare funded program. Daycare is super duper expensive, and if you know anything about it, honey, it's cheaper to stay home than not, than go to work when it comes to daycare. It's just, unfortunate that funding that a lot of people really need is going to be, for the time being, shut down. That's not okay. But that's not why we're here. We're here for the Real Housewives of Potomac. It's season 9, episode 16. If I didn't tell you before, please like the video. Please subscribe to my channel. I'm on the road to 400, and I'm, planning on putting in work and giving y'all the content that, keeps y'all entertained when y'all come over here to holler at me, Rhonda. Anyway, these ladies over here in Potomac, they're outside this club still screaming at each other because, Karen and Giselle decided to confront Mia about her lies. And I feel like Mia has always been lying, and it's very convenient, how now all of a sudden there's this, awareness of the bullshit that's coming out of her mouth. This fake alliance between Giselle and Karen is annoying and rich at the same time. It's like y'all, anyway, we just gonna talk about what we see. Um, the shit went low because that's what Mia does. She goes low. And so Stacy is, I mean, not Stacy, what's this girl? Kieran like, come on, y'all are doing too much. We ain't even seen Ashley perform yet. So let's go back inside and continue this conversation at a later date. Stacy, for whatever reason, defends Mia. I guess she felt like if you wanted to confront this lady, you could have confronted her, like, not in front of everybody. Now you got her on blast, and in her mind, it's about her children. This is the thing, Stacy. Mia brought this bullshit over here, so they have every right to confront her how they're confronting her. She was the one that was over here conjuring up tears and things for information she already knew was a lie. That's what liars do. Then they get mad at you for not believing their lies. But I also feel like Stacey's not as dumb as she's acting. I don't want to say dumb. I'm gonna say dingy. Stacey is not as dingy as she's trying to play over here in our faces with. But okay, girl. So you just so defending Mia because you don't think that this should be taking place in front of all these people at this club. Ashley comes out for this performance. I knew it was going to be the same bullshit that Ashley always does. She did some TikTok dancing dressed as Tom Sandoval from Vanderpump Rules. When I seen her, all I could think of is Tom Sandoval over there pretending to be a rock star in Beverly Hills. She, gyrating around the move. Her mother was definitely entertained. Karen, she did a little bump and grind dance on Karen, and then she pulled her titties out with some little sparkles on it. I mean, I've seen a lot of drag shows. I've not seen shows that had drag kings. I've only seen drag queens. And what I can tell you about a drag show, king or queen, that the drag is not about dressing up as anything. It's definitely about people that are real entertainers. It's more than just putting on a dress and dancing around, the room like Ashley did. If I wanted to see her do that, like I said, I could have went to TikTok. Watch her do that stiff shit she does. I mean, I guess a good time was had by all. The ladies all walked away talking about how they now are attracted to Ashley dressed as a boy. So, I mean, a mission accomplished, I guess. They fill Ashley in on the lies that me have been telling, and of course, Ashley is completely outraged. And is Jacqueline mic'd up or not? Because she's in the back talking about how Gordon be lying, and then I see her talking, and they just be shutting her shit down. Does she know that when she thought she was entering in the conversation, the production had already turned her off? I appreciate it. Nobody wanted to hear her input anyway, but I feel like Jacqueline is always somewhere squishing her head into conversations that she's been muted on. She doesn't even know it. Just like a streetwalker, her and her friend Mia. After the event, I don't know how many couple views the days later it is, but Giselle and Karen and Ashley and Kieran meet up for lunch. They have a little small conversation about Mia's lies and how, it's we I was so like this is Giselle. I was so invested in Mia. Girl, you did not buy her bullshit. Giselle, you did not believe Mia's bullshit before. So I don't know why you're trying to act all shocked and surprised that she's a liar. She's been a liar since she got here. She just was, good for your numbers when you were trying to gain people to attack Wendy with. And what's her name? Mia's ghetto ass went over there with her pocketbook and hit the lady upside the head and threw a drink at her. Now you're like appalled. Oh my God, Mia. Mia, it seems like the same person that came up over here. When you start the conversation that I bent over in a Waffle House bathroom for this nittigat, when you start the conversation with I bent over in a Waffle House bathroom for this Gordon character that found me at the gentleman's club naked under an evening gown while he was eating steak and lobster. That's where we met her at. So anything she's doing now is just more of that bullshit that she was doing before. Anyway, Kieran is in tears because Greg doesn't support her being on the show. And I feel like the last few episodes, Kieran, every time you mention this man, Greg, you start crying. Did you just carry boxes into the house? I hope you didn't unpack them. Just carry them right back out where you came from. You should not burst into tears the moment you mention your partner. You really want to be on this show so bad and he doesn't support it. I don't know. I like you, Kierna, but I don't the people are not out here feeling you so much. So you better this is the last episode. So I hope to see you back. I don't want to see you go anywhere. Um Hope you come back, and when you come back, I hope you carry them boxes right back out the same door you brought them in. Because this is you've met I feel like Kierna was out here dating, the type of guys that she likes. She's beautiful, so she's got options. And I think she looked at Greg as, I'm going to try something different. These niggas be out here, athletes and things, be cheating and having too many women and doing too much. So I'm going to go ahead and try something different. And I think Greg is something different. And she finds out he ain't really different. He's just a shorter and, less attractive package than what she's probably used to dealing with. I'm not saying the man is ugly. I'm just saying he's kind of small. And you like what you like, child. And I think it's, easy to think you're in love with somebody that's sweeping you off your feet. And, y'all fall into this wife thing that y'all want to always be aspiring to be till you find out what it actually entails. And then you're like, hold on, I'm an independent woman. I'm not a wife. No, there are barbaric ass niggas walking around that think that the Lord built you off of his rib just solely for you to serve his ass. And that doesn't have nothing to do with your independence. You come in the house, you cook, you clean, wife, wash, iron, food, and entertainment. I wish somebody would just, I should put it on a t-shirt. I just give her some sound advice, honestly, because, Giselle and Karen both. Karen has a husband who's quite wealthy when she got with him and probably, dealt with a lot of Ray's bullshit. We looking at, feeble old Ray that carries her pocketbook and laughs at, silly little jokes. But back in the day, Ray was probably something else. So they tell her, girl, you have a business, you're a boss, Don't let no man diminish that from you. I mean, I hate to give, I don't hate to give, but Giselle doesn't often come with very good advice, but this time she did give that girl sound advice, and I feel like, was looking at her daughter. Because she told her, if you were my daughter, I would tell you this is not okay for somebody to be trying to, dim your light. She about young enough to be her daughter. I know Giselle would never say that, but that's probably the truth. And that's probably what she was thinking. She was probably thinking of little Grace and Angel and what's her name? One of them don't like to be in TV too much. But the twins. Karen told her the same thing. And so, hopefully she takes heed to that. I think, I feel like her mother is direct, and I feel like they have a good relationship, even though like she hasn't been on the show, and that's fine. We don't like it when these mothers come in here doing too much too fast, but she probably getting the same advice from her mother. Her mother's an independent woman. That's probably where she gets it from. Mia picks up Ink from the airport, and they follow their regular routine where she pulls out the little booster seat so he can see over top of the steering wheel while he's driving her around. And he lets her know that Gordon texted him and let him know that he has the results of the paternity test. And if you want to know what the results are, maybe you should give Mia a call like she's already told you. Now, I thought that Ink was in on, maybe the lies that Mia was over here telling, but it seems like based on this conversation, she's over there lying to him too. And got this man thinking that he's absolutely the father of this child, which he is not. Because Gordon has results. And then rather than asking Mia what the results say, this nigga decides to say, I don't even believe that he took the test. He did. Because once he found out that she was saying you was a possibility you were the father, he needed to know that immediately. We look at that little boy and we see Gordon, so we weren't surprised to know that he's actually the father. Plus, the little kid's already almost taller than you, which, I mean, his mama's big and tall, so that means nothing, I guess. Anyway, I feel like we're all glad to know that that's Gordon's son. Why are we making up mess just for the sake of making up mess? At the end of the day, I really feel like with all that they have going on over there with the not being having ownership in the what is it, chiropractic, uh I can't remember the name of it, but it was a chain of them, a franchise. So them not having all those stores anymore, that's the real storyline. If y'all want to be, and they can't be worse than what's going on over here with you in this fake paternity test situation. But this dude, Ink, is irritated because he feels like she needs to create boundaries with Gordon. And he doesn't like that every decision that they make is has to run by Gordon first before we, make any types of decisions. He would like to see her cut ties with Gordon is what he wants. And I'm like, that's called a divorce. That's how you cut the ties. But they haven't filed divorce. According to Gordon, they ain't even trying to get a divorce. Because unless she's trying to get married to somebody, they don't see any reason why they should do that. And she, like I said, I feel like is sticking around to get any type of pension or social security things that this man might have before he kicks the bucket. Ties are still tied, little ink. They already still tied up, Stacy. Stacy's hosting this pet adoption fashion show situation. So she's over to the shelter discussing the details of which dogs are going to go, in the fashion show. I feel like that's a very community-based TV host type event. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I see those things announced on the news, you know, from time to time. Ashley comes through there. She feels like although Ashley had a rocky start with Ashley putting her bunions and things on her marble countertop, they have gotten past that and they feel very close to one another, especially since they're both going through a divorce. Stacy says she only has one more mediation and then she's all ready to file and things. And, we saw how that went in her mediation. Ashley says she done into a roadblock because whatever the confidentiality situation is that Michael is over here asking for, they can't come to an agreement on that. This is what Ashley's saying. But Ashley's been getting divorced for a long time. She went around here celebrating how she only another week left or another month left before it actually happens. But here we are still dealing with roadblocks. She said she was going to file public. Did she file public? I don't keep up all the time with the things that are going on outside of the show, especially as it relates to Ashley and Mia. I hear about it, but I ain't looking for it. So I don't know if she went public or not. She said she was going to go with the more vanilla version versus the spicy version. She was going to go with irreconcilable differences versus getting out here saying all this nasty shit that people do when they start filing divorce publicly. Y'all do what y'all gotta do. That's not something I'm ever gonna have to worry about in life. So, Stacy stands firm on not filing for child support, and Ashley want to know what's wrong with her since she's unemployed. We all want to know what's wrong with her. File for the damn child support. She's over here, Kyle Richards. I know, Arabella. Her man ain't like no different than any of the rest of them out here. So, do your thing, Stacy, and stay employed. Is all I can say. Especially when the father is very wealthy. I'll put it that way. According to her, he make a hell of a lot more money than she got. Greg and Kierna, they go on a date. It was a very there's a tension between them is like serious, and it's gone beyond like him being uncomfortable filming. I mean, maybe he's uncomfortable filming and talking about his relationship. Kiana, did you bring this man over here to dump his ass like a lot of women do? And we're okay if that's what you came here to do, because Greg is not a likable individual. They go to this little restaurant, they sit down to discuss their relationship issues. And Greg basically says, listen, I can tell you're bothered because you act very bothered by our differences. You're a woman, I'm a man, and maybe you should just, what did he say? Go with the flow and shut the fuck up. Calm the fuck down. That's what he said. You should just go with the flow and calm the fuck down. That's his solution to the problem. So I don't even know, Kieran, where you step in to fix that or what incentive you have to fix it. Because I'm looking at him and I'm like, you can't be distracted by the fineness. And Demon Dick, I know what it looks like, and I don't think that's it. He ain't giving Big D energy, so I don't know what he's giving. He's not even giving a nice guy. He's kind of off-putting his personality the more you're around him. She says she feels like she has to dim her light when she's around him and she can't be her full self. And girl, that don't get no better. He gonna keep stomping it down and stomping it down. Y'all ain't even married and he's already telling you to go with the flow and calm the fuck down. What does that even mean? Calm down. I feel like she was being as demure and mindful as she could possibly be in trying to have this conversation. And he seems very annoyed. She said he dismisses her feelings. Yeah, in this very moment, he's dismissing her feelings by saying, yeah, no, that's not what I do. So if she's considering, separating, I think that's a great idea. I think that regardless to what this show is doing, if it's just not the show, it'll be something else. She's got a successful business over there. If she's not on this show, she's got other opportunities coming her way. And him stifling it is not healthy for her as a human. Because there's gonna be a man out there that likes to sit back. If y'all have I've been reviewing the Wags to Riches on Netflix, and I'm going ahead and finish that up. Hopefully today. It's a lot. this and married to medicine. And as long as I keep it short, then maybe I'll be able to get to wax today. If not today, then tomorrow. I'm gonna go ahead and finish up that review. But what I was gonna say is Ashley and Philip Wheeler, I believe that's his name, um, from that show, he really like supports her and what she's doing. And he's proud to have a woman in his life whose light shines so brightly. And I feel like a couple of them feel that way about their significant others. And if that's not what you're getting, then you can't grow. The bigger and brighter you are, that's only going to be a benefit to him. And if he's stifling it, then he's your worst enemy, girl, not your partner. Just saying. The grand dame and her unrealistic standards of what friendship is supposed to look like. So Karen is all in her feelings because Stacy was over here, what Wendy likes to say, coddling Mia over at that uh, Tom Sandoval event that Ashley was over there having. Um, Karen does this to everybody. She gets all in her feelings and she's had this grand dame like persona gone to her head, and she has this is where we met her. Karen came into this introduction to us all being mad at Giselle for not moving out of the middle seat because it's her birthday. So that's the kind of shit she does. So now she's upset with Stacy because Stacy, how dare she walk over to Mia and say, "Are you okay? I don't think it's cool to be bringing Kens into these public conversations." She's been doing the same thing this whole time. So I'm not mad at Stacy for doing that. Wendy, I like you, Wendy, but you shut up. You over here like going hard for somebody that is talking shit behind your back. You step up for Karen the way you feel like you need to. And Stacy can do it in the way she needs to. Whatever she was saying to Stacy didn't have nothing to do with Karen necessarily, except for the fact that she was like, this should be a private conversation. I don't like that we're attacking one person, about their kids. And even though Mia brought her bullshit over here, this lady is entitled to feel like it's not the right place to discuss it. So because Mia, Stacy, Karen sends this tacky ass text message to her, in response to her invitation to the ladies to participate in her event. I don't know how that went. And Stacy, I do feel like you should have asked them if they would do it and not tell them to show up and come get their dress. But that being said, Karen's not participating because she doesn't like how Stacy handled things over at Ashley's event. So you on bullshit, girl. What are you talking about? Vivian, the boutique owner, is providing the fashions, and I feel like for whatever reason, they think Stacy was supposed to go through Karen to ask Vivian to, participate in her event. Like, I done met the lady now. If you don't introduce me to somebody and we click, please don't think I need to call you every time I want to, reach out to this person. I'm not that person. If I introduce people and I think they're going to get along, and then they'd be like, hey, I went to lunch with so and so the other day. Now I'm going to be sitting in my house mad because y'all didn't ask me to go to lunch. I'm not that girl. I'm like glad that my friends like meet up and get introduced to each other and then they like each other. Because if you're finding time to do personal things together, that's a good thing. That's a positive thing. Now, don't always go to lunch. Don't ask me if I want to go, but since we're a friend group, it just depends on the situation. I don't think even if Stacy didn't know Vivian, what she says she did. She said, I've been knew Vivian long before I knew Karen. So I don't need to go through Karen to ask her to do anything. Even Vivian looks confused. And Giselle is making up some type of, I don't know, hierarchy that was written down in the Real Housewives of Potomac handbook about how you're supposed to go through Karen in order to get things done based on who was introduced by who. Ashley is going to always agree with Giselle. Whatever Giselle says, Ashley, I see her point. At least Wendy doesn't. Wendy doesn't see her point. Wendy thinks that's silly. Wendy also thinks that Stacy, for whatever reason, wasn't loyal to Karen, and she should have, I don't know, handled Mia different. And like I said before, what do you worry about yourself? Giselle, since Karen is her new best friend, has decided she will not be participating because you didn't even ask me if I was afraid of dogs. And I might have got bit by a dog some time in my life, and now I have a fear of them. And Stacy was like, well, girl, sit by Karen. You know, she said, Giselle, I didn't even know you were into charities because you came to my charity and didn't donate any money. Bitch, we told you not to throw them out, but that's what you did. You threw the money out the door. You can't bring it up now as if they didn't come to donate to your charity. But that being said, Giselle's not participating either. So now it's pile up. It's pile up on Stacy time. Since we can't come for Wendy anymore, we'll go after Stacy and Mia. I feel like they think Stacy is weak. Stacy is showing y'all like she's not as weak as you think she is. She's not really dingy. She just play one on TV. Eddie somehow hooks up a interview for Wendy's TV show. You know, oh, I'm not gonna call it a TV show. It's a podcast, Wendy. You talk the Wendy show, that's the name of it, but it's a podcast. And Eddie hooked up her an interview for her podcast with the White House correspondent Karen Jean-Pierre. Yeah, I hope she did it before that lady get kicked out because I don't think she gonna have no job soon. If she still got it. You know what's happening over there, the folks getting fired for being brown. Um, Stacy and Mia have this meetup, child. So it's mad day for both of them. And they over here, you know, having lunch together and talking about how the Grand Dame ain't shit. And Stacy's telling all the things that Karen, you got to be careful who you cross once you've already been gossiping with them and talk shit about people with them. Uh, Mia is over here claiming actually that Gordon was having an episode. And so she's sticking to her lie and Stacy's believing her bullshit. Um, Stacy is telling Mia that Karen said that you were not Potomac. And she also said that Wendy is, what did she say? Wendy is self-absorbent or something like that. At the end of the day, you know, we know Karen didn't think Wendy was of Potomac. But now I have to agree with Mia. Is it Potomac to be sliding all down bar stools? Because we know that's what you was doing, girl, right before you wrapped your car around the tree. Your grand dame status has been revoked, Karen. You're not the grand dame anymore. We're going to have to find something else to call you. Like tipsy. Tipsy, turvy, tanked. Tanked. We're going to call you completely downright tanked, Karen. Meantime, Wendy over here wanting to take care. She's having a whole moment. In Surrey County, Karen talked about how her family brought her, you know, home back from the slave owners, and now I want to take her to the White House. And I guess, child, but the lady said you were self-absorbent. And you know what, Wendy? I like Wendy. But somebody else said that about Wendy in terms of, you know, she may not be the friendliest person. So you should think about that, Wendy, when you're out here in these streets, because the people that have run into you know, are saying you're not that much of a nice person. Well, next week is the season finale, y'all, and seemingly the shit flies down to the dog fashion show. So, in the meantime, y'all, like the video, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you when I see you. Bye, y'all.